Hi, this is Dr. Helen Sue from Hella Mental Health. And a therapist friend in Texas recently noticed that there were a lot of support groups of community members and peers meeting around the book, Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. And she asked me, she's a white therapist, she asked if this was a really common concern among Asian Americans because she noticed a lot of the support groups and the book groups around this book were Asian American. And unfortunately, yes, the book's full title is The Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents: How to Heal from Distant, Rejecting, and Self-Involved Parents. It's by Dr. Lindsay Gibson. It's a really great book. Although one aspect is it doesn't get too much into culture and history. And for Asian Americans, that's where a lot of our parents' emotional troubles come from. That there's a fair amount of people in our communities due to being a refugee, due to immigration, due to colonization and what it's done to our home countries, to our identities and our emotional capacity and range. It's caused a lot of complex trauma, a lot of emotional immaturity, for lack of a better word, just a lot of phenomena that have made it very difficult for some of our parents to relate in an emotionally healthy way and have healthy ways of self-expression, and then to be able to teach us healthy ways of self-expression and relating and communication. And sometimes I think as an Asian American, it can feel bad to have any criticism of your parents, right? Or any elder, that you're made to feel really bad about it. And I do want to say that we're not saying somebody's a bad person if they've been traumatized or had their emotional growth and maturity stunted in some ways. And there are ways, as I always say, that we can have compassion and empathy, but still ask to protect our boundaries and our safety and not be a human sacrifice to somebody else's emotional challenges, especially if they're not willing to work on or have no insight into working on those challenges. It's something you can really talk about with a therapist. It is a really great book to talk about with other people who might share the experience. And again, getting away from black and white thinking. Just because someone in your life, especially a parent or elder, may be emotionally immature or traumatized and troubled and or in all these ways, doesn't mean they're necessarily a bad person, but it does mean that you probably need to learn ways to heal and communicate and defend your own boundaries in a healthy way, and also seek out learning about how to become more emotionally whole and present and mature, and hopefully find contentment for yourself. This is Dr. Helen Sue from Hella Mental Health. Do you feel like you've had to deal with emotionally immature family members in your life? And how has that affected you? I'd love to hear more about it. And also, if you have specific questions, just drop them in the chat below and hit subscribe for more content, especially about Asian American mental health.